I am making this video in response to the whole Scott Adams controversy. As you can see in my title, he spoke his truth, and I respect that. I am a staunch free speech advocate. I encourage you to watch this entire video. You will not get a detailed breakdown from any other YouTube content creator like me. Also, like the video so the algorithm can promote this video so other people can hear it. I brought some great receipts, and I will expose that although Scott Adams spoke his truth, he spoke two obvious mistruths. He kind of lied. And I got some receipts to prove my case. So bear with me. I didn't make the video too long because I know people don't like super long videos unless you have a big following, and I don't have a big following yet. And I'm very, very outspoken. I don't bite my tongue. I'm very hard right on just about every issue. So logic over emotion.
But I have to say, this is the first political poll that ever changed my activities. I don't know that that's ever happened before. You know, normally you see a poll, you just look at it and you go, whatever. Yeah, oh, this is interesting what other people think. But as of today, I'm going to re-identify as white because I don't want to be a member of a hate group. I'd accidentally joined a hate group. So if you know, nearly half of all blacks are not okay with white people, according to this poll, not according to me, according to this poll, that's a hate group. That's a hate group. And I don't want to have anything to do with them. And I would say, you know, based on the current way things are going, the best advice I would give to white people is to get the hell away from black people. Just get the fuck away. Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be fixed. All right, this can't be fixed. You just have to escape. So that's what I did. I went to a neighborhood where, you know, I have a very low black population, because unfortunately, there's a high correlation between the density. And this is according to Don Lemon, by the way. So here I'm just quoting Don Lemon when he notes that when he lived in a mostly black neighborhood, there were a bunch of problems that he didn't see in white neighborhoods. So even Don Lemon sees a big difference in your own quality of living based on where you live and who's there. So I think it makes no sense whatsoever as a white citizen of America to try to help black citizens anymore. It doesn't make sense. It's no longer a rational impulse.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure most of y'all have heard that, clip already. It's actually a much longer video he made that was, I think, over an hour long. I may be wrong. It may be closer to 2 hours. I see he has a YouTube channel with a couple of 100,000 subscribers, so he's been doing this for a while. But let's go ahead and get into the meat of what I want to talk about, and here are my receipts, so bear with me. So the first lie is we are not a hate group. That is literally impossible. Remember, I have receipts. Are we indoctrinated? Mostly yes, but a hate group, that's impossible for black people to be a hate group. And the reason why is because our actions towards white people do not prove that we're a hate group. Now, there are videos circulating of black people beating white people up. Some of those are old. Some of them are prevalent when it comes to interracial crime. Yes, black people do assault white people more. Yes, black people do have the highest homicide rate. 1352 is like this running little post I be seeing. I mean, what the people that post that are saying is 13% of the population commits 52% of the homicide. Actually, it's far less than that because most of the killers in any demographic are men. So it's actually maybe 2% because black people are 13.5% of the population, 6% black men, 7% black women. There are more black women than black men, more white women than white men. So therefore, it's actually a even smaller number. So yes, our homicide rate and our violent crime rate is off the chain. We know that. That's a separate conversation for another video. There are reasons why our crime rate is the way it is. It didn't used to be like that. liberal policy, the breakup of the black family, the crack epidemic is many factors that have destroyed black society and black culture, which is, like I said, is a separate issue, and I don't want to go off on a tangent on that. So yeah, we don't hate white people collectively just because a poll says so. A poll is not a way to accurately assess the feelings of 45 million people. I was on a very popular YouTuber's channel when I first saw the video clip of Scott Adams that went viral. Some of you may have heard of him. His name is Mark Dice. I'm subscribed to his channel. I even bought a shirt from him. And that comment section was littered with white people. And also a couple of other YouTubers that I watched. It was a similar situation. They were talking about the crime. They were talking about how we always follow them. How black people have trashy neighborhoods. We don't pick up trash. And yes, that's true to a degree, but that's primarily true for the subclass of black people that are living in rundown ghetto inner city neighborhoods. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Georgia. And in Metro Atlanta, I'm pretty sure many of you know that Georgia is one of the blackest states in the nation. We have some neighborhoods across Metro Atlanta where the average income is higher than a lot of white communities. And these are all black communities, clean communities, HOA subdivisions. Some of them are even gated. I'm a landscaper. I work in some of these communities with all black people, and I work in some communities with all white people. I don't care what color your money is green. And for the most part, they don't play. They keep their yards up. They don't have run down, broken down cars in the yard and whatever. So if you guys remember, it was Martin Luther King, a black man who wanted to integrate into white society. He pushed for integration. A lot of black people didn't want to integrate. A lot of white people didn't want to integrate. And that's fine. Most white people like living around each other. Most black people like living around each other. I like living around black people, but I don't like living around the low class black people. Like the old saying goes, you got black people and you got ninjas. You know, I ain't gonna say the other word that we all know, but the ninjas are a problem. They tear things up. They're destructive. They kill, steal, rob, all that crap. I even saw a comment from somebody that was probably white that says, I can't even be friends with the good blacks because one of their friends may come around and steal from me. And I just said, okay, this guy is being kind of ignorant, because most of the quote unquote good blacks hang with other good blacks. We don't like those trashy black people either. Everybody wants to get away from them. Watch this. So remember I told you that when I was in Mark Dice's comment section, I saw some white people saying that they follow us everywhere we go. Well, the black people that come to the suburbs, because what happened back in the, I guess you could say the 50s on up, you had a phenomenon known as white flight, as we all know, where the white people start leaving the city and going to the suburbs because they wanted to have lower crime, lower taxes. They wanted to get away from other non-white people, because sometimes it may be racism and sometimes it's just tribalism. Racism and tribalism are two different things. White people want to be around other white people simply because they have more in common with other white people, and because they have camaraderie with them. Like, that's just human nature. Like I said, I prefer to be in a neighborhood with lots of black people, but black people that conduct themselves like I do. Law-abiding citizens, don't break into people's houses, don't have loud music playing 3-4 nights a week. You know what I'm saying? Just I like a good quality of life, right? Most white people want their kids to date and marry other white people. That's just human nature. So I brought these county demographic profiles. I downloaded them from Wikipedia. I know people are like, oh, Wikipedia is not such a good place to look at, but the data is pretty much consistent across the board. So I just screenshotted a few of these counties. This is Cabarrus County, North Carolina, which is northeast of Charlotte. the white population of these suburbs continues to decrease every census report. The black population continues to go up. The Hispanic population continues to go up. So if black people hated white people so much, why do we want to come into your communities? Of course, it's economically related and of course quality of life related. But again, if we hate you so much, why are we coming into your neighborhoods? This is Gwinnett County, Georgia, northeast of Atlanta. White population has decreased. Collin County, Texas, which is north of Dallas. The white population has increased, but look, the black population has increased as well. 30-something thousand over the past 10 years since the census was put out. Some of these demographic swings are 25, 30, 40, and 50% one way. This is Montgomery County, Maryland. The white population dropped 10%. The black population went up 2%. And it's the white population dropping by these precipitous amounts is not just because black people are moving in. Other races and demographics are moving in. And this is one more, Douglas County, Georgia, where I went to high school in Douglas County, Georgia. In 1990, Douglas County, Georgia was 90% Caucasian. Today, it's about 32% white and about 52% black and a little bit of Hispanic, about 10% Hispanic and a little bit of Asian. So, again, the white person that said we follow y'all, why would we be following people that we hate? That's just not true. I think Scott Adams' rant was a little bit emotional. It definitely was emotional. I don't think it was. He was in his feelings because of the poll. But I'm gonna get to the second lie in one more clip. Give me one more clip. I got to show you one more thing real quick. And last but not least, have we all heard of cultural appropriation? You ever seen a black woman with blonde hair, even though it's not her real hair? Y'all know who this is, one of the biggest race hustlers in the game. And we're going to talk about the anti-white rhetoric, because I know a lot of white people are like, what about the anti-white racism? What about all these black people talking shit about white people? We'll get into that in 1 second. I would never date a black woman that does not embrace her natural hair. I like natural black women, like kinky hair that grows out of our head. We're the only people on planet Earth that has the texture of hair the way we do, and I embrace it. I will not date a black woman who doesn't embrace her natural hair, her natural eyes, and her natural everything. And believe it or not, it's not just black women doing this crap. Check this out. This is rapper Kevin Gates from Louisiana, one of the most popular rappers in the game right now. Chris Brown, know many of you probably heard of him. You may not listen to his music, but how many black people naturally grow blonde hair out of their head? I mean, you got black people that literally want to be white. They put blue contacts in their eyes. We wear your clothes. We drive your cars. I mean, y'all are the most dominant race in this country by numbers and by economic wealth and power and control. So, of course, you're going to have a lot of influence over this society. But if black people hated you so bad, why do we follow you? Why are we imitating you? Okay. Like I said, are some black people racist towards whites? Absolutely. I'd be a fool to say that was a lie. But the majority of black people are not racist towards white. That's a lie. And we're going to go ahead and get to the second lie that Scott Adams told. And I don't think he tried to lie. The hate group part was a blatant lie. He was just emotional. The second lie was not necessarily like a flat out lie, but it kind of was. And we'll go ahead and get into the second lie he told real quick. Okay, so the second lie was your desire to go on that rant wasn't because of the poll. You felt this way for a long time. And it's okay. Expressing how you feel is good for the soul. No need to keep your thoughts suppressed. Yeah, so like I said, Scott Adams had that energy towards black people in his heart for quite some time. Maybe the poll was the straw that broke the camel's back and it gave him an excuse to go on that rant. But that don't let that poll be the reason, sir. That was not why you decided that you are done with. He's basically saying, I'm done with black people. I'm sick of black people. That's the overall message that he was portraying in that, episode on his podcast was. And like I said, I respect that. I know it's a lot of black people that are tired of black people. It's a lot of black people that's tired of black people. And I hate that as a black person, we have a segment of our population that gives us all a bad name. This video is not about me defending black people. This video is about me stating some mistruths that he spoke. And we know what our problems are in the black community. I think that as black people, what we need to do is have a complete tearing down of what's left of the black community and rebuild with the best blacks that we have, and get as far away from the black people that don't want to do right. Like I said, this is not something that was created overnight, and it's not going to get fixed overnight. And white people have done a lot to try to ameliorate some of our problems, but many of these problems persist. And there is a group of people that are heavily invested in keeping these problems up for black society, and that's that white liberal. The white liberal is even more of a cancer to this society than black people are. And the reason why is because they're the puppet masters of black people, specifically the black people on the left, because they vote for the Democrat Party at a rate of about 90%. It's slowly changing. Trump helped break us up from our Democrat addiction, but the older black people are going to have to die off more before things really change, because they're the ones that vote the most, and they're the ones that worship the Democrat Party. And then we got a lot of black Democrat politicians that kind of serve as shields for that white liberal. And they will do anything and say anything to appease their white liberal masters. And then, of course, you got people like this bastard who fund these liberal district attorneys that don't lock up the people that need to be locked up. You got black bootlicks that have followed the agenda that has nothing to do with empowering black people. All this LGBT foolishness, illegal immigration, all this gender foolishness they're trying to push on the children. It's too many black people that have sold out. The sellout black pastor, the sellout black Democrats have sold their souls to the Democrat establishment for their seat at the table, and they don't care that their own people are suffering.
Can men get pregnant?
Depends. I know.
What does it depend on?
I know trans men that can get pregnant.
That means it's a woman. Only one sex can get pregnant.
That's a circular argument. That's
not a circular argument.
Yeah.
It's proving my thing. There is a truth.
See what I'm talking about? Those type of sellout Negroes. It's cornballs like that goofball Mark Lamont Hill, and it's many others just like him that are so freaking woke and so freaking down with the agenda that they'll go along with any of this stupid shit that the left pushes. We need more strong, masculine, heterosexual black men like myself, especially down here in Georgia, because we're now a battleground state, to wake up the rest of the black lions. Because there are a lot of black men that think like me and other black conservatives that are very, very popular on YouTube, like Brandon Tatum and ABL and Black Conservative Perspective and whoever else. And a lot of us think like this. A lot of us are very based. A lot of us are. The problem is a lot of black men just don't vote, and a lot of us are just not involved in the culture war like white people are. White people are very involved in the fight. Matt Walsh is killing it up in Tennessee, going straight at the trans agenda. Shout out to him. We need more black people to start doing like the white conservatives are doing instead of sitting on the sidelines. The only way that the black race will be saved, those of us that want to be saved, is for masculine black men to stand up. And I think that the tide is slowly turning. You just have too many black Democrats that are willing to go along to get along and follow the status quo so they can keep their seat at the table. So like I said, the Democrat Party and the leftist zombies know that this is the only way to fix the degeneracy problem in the black society. Families, fathers in the home. Unfortunately, the black Democrat bootlicks are not here to improve the black community. They're only here to enrich themselves and gain power. Their allegiance is to the white liberal, not black people. And this is something that we can see playing out in front of our faces every single day. And like I said, all these goofy black effeminate males that the Democrat Party and the white liberal establishment, the mainstream media trots out there to, you know, bloviate these anti-white talking points. They don't represent the masculine black man. This is not a masculine black man. This is a very sexually questionable black. He's probably a rainbow guy. He don't seem masculine to me.
For throwing out the Constitution, should the Constitution be thrown out? What do? Is it a living document? Or is it a sacred document?
It's certainly not sacred, all right? Let's start there. The Constitution is kind of trash. Now, let's just talk as adults for a second.
What did you say? It's what?
It's kind of trash.
Trash.
It was written by slavers and colonists and white people who were willing to make deals with slavers and colonists. They didn't ask anybody who looked like me what they thought about the Constitution. They didn't say, oh, Jim, come over here. What do you think about this old Constitution? Well, massa, I sure don't.
See what I'm saying? They have goofy, effeminate black males on TV like that to basically regurgitate the talking points that they want him to regurgitate and to annoy the white right. If you're a conservative white male specifically, they use black people like that to annoy you. So the reason why we're seeing so much anti-white racism in this country is because the white liberal foot soldiers and their black Democrat puppets are just useful idiots for the elites who want to destroy this nation internally. Are you going to hold or are you going to fold, white people? We are stronger than them. The lions must unite immediately. The beast cannot win. This is all by design for those of you who have your thinking caps on. This is not something that's just happened coincidentally. They did that poll on purpose. They're trying to keep us distracted and they want to keep us divided. We are actually already kind of a self-segregating society. You got some integrated parts of the metro Atlanta area where I live, like Gwinnett County, which is very, very diverse. Queens, New York is very diverse. Alameda County, California, which is suburban Oakland. Fort Bend County, Texas, which is suburban Houston. Collin County to the north of Dallas. It's a lot of communities where we all kind of live and play in harmony with one another for the most part because we're of the same socioeconomic status. It's really more so about class than race. Not saying that wealthy people can't be racist because there's some wealthy racist white people and there's some wealthy racist black people. Money has nothing to do with racism. But that's about it. I didn't mean to make the video this long, but I just had a lot to say. And, you know, a lot of our problems are self-inflicted, but understand that there are people behind the madness who want this to continue to destroy our country. They know that in order for America to fall, America must be destroyed from within. America is too mighty of a nation militarily to be conquered by a single nation. Now, if China and Russia get together, we might be in trouble. We're going to have to get Japan to, you know, restart their military and get the whole Western Europe and God knows whoever else to counter that beast. But that's another conversation for another video. I'm going to do a video about that alliance taking place between China and Russia. Kind of scares me, but the good guys usually win. So we'll just have to see what we're going to do to rectify that mess. Trump wouldn't have allowed them to do what they're doing right now. But that's another conversation for another video as well. We got to get rid of the sellouts. And yeah, we just got to recognize the true enemy. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. Yes, we do need to address the anti-white rhetoric. Yes, black people, we've been dealing with racism and white supremacy, the big bad white supremacy for 400 years. So it's nothing new to us, even though it's not our biggest problem. Racism is always going to exist. But what white people are experiencing right now is fairly new to you. And it's bothering you. And I know it's bothering you. And I understand your frustration with it. But just understand that there are powers at work that you do not see. And that is their goal. Their goal is to destroy us. Remember COVID? Remember how many people it killed? Remember how they took our freedoms away or tried to? Yeah. You ever heard of the digital dollar? Yeah. All this stuff is, you know, forthcoming if we don't do something about it. And I personally believe that you will need a strong, healthy faction of masculine black men to help you in the fight. Because the white man can only do so much by himself. The white man is usually the first person to rebel against the government in this society. Every war against the government that's been fought was started by white people. And that's why they're after you so bad, because they know that white people are the ones that are the most rebellious and willing to go to war for your freedom. Black people, we are willing to go to war for our freedom too. We just never fought for our freedom without white people starting the conflict. We fought in every war with white people. We fought in the Civil War. We fought in the American Revolutionary War. We fought in World War I, World War II, Vietnam, even wars we had no business fighting. Black people died right alongside of white people. So that's the end of the video, guys. Keep your eye on the prize. You know, you want to live in white neighborhoods, that's fine. Do whatever you got to do. You got the freedom to live wherever you want. I'm not upset about that. I don't have any issue with Scott Adams as a person. I respect him for saying what he said. I just had to point out those couple of mistruths that he spoke. And hope y'all enjoyed it. See you on the next one.